I scored 96.8 in my 10th board exam. And yeah, before this turns something else in your head, this video might be off topic from what I usually post. I'm not saying that score to motivate you or flex you or anything like that. I'm saying because when people hear that score, they start building a story around it. Like I must have been under insane pressure, or I must have studied non-stop, or that my parents were very strict. And that's exactly what I want to talk about. Because exams don't really create pressure, it's expectations. Think about it. Exam is just a paper. There are questions. You either know some of them or you don't. That's it. On its own, it's neutral. It doesn't care who you are, where you come from, or what your future plans are. The pressure starts when we attach meaning to it, when your marks stop being feedback and become judgment, when an exam is no longer how much I understood, but what kind of person I am. This shift is subtle, but it changes everything. For me, when I was preparing for my boards exam, I wasn't sitting there with fear every day. I cared about doing well, yes, but I wasn't constantly thinking about expectations. I didn't study crazy hours. I didn't lock myself in a room. Some days were productive, some days were average, and some were very bad. Normal student stuff. What helped me the most was that my focus was on understanding the concepts, on understanding the subjects, not imagining the consequences all the time. If I bring here a little bit of philosophy, fear is always about the future. Understanding is about the present. The moment you start to study with fear, your mind is not on the chapter anymore. It's on the results, reactions, and comparisons. You are physically studying, but mentally you are on the result day. That's not learning, that's just anxiety with the book open. And expectations feed that anxiety. In India, expectations do not need to be spoken, they are just there. Relatives asking marks casually, teachers predicting percentages, parents saying, "We just want you to do your best," but specifically, they mean something else. So even if no one is shouting at you, you still feel watched. That's why a two student can sit in the same exam hall, but with completely different temperament. One is tense but okay, the other is thinking that everything depends on these 3 hours. The exam didn't change, the expectations did. Philosophically speaking, this is where things go wrong. We confuse performance with worth. Marks are supposed to measure our understanding. Instead, we use them to measure value. And that's a category mistake. When I got 96.8, nothing magical happened. I didn't magically become smarter as a human being the next day. My thinking didn't upgrade overnight. It was just a number describing how I performed in a certain system, on certain days, under certain conditions. But expectations make that number feel permanent. And this doesn't stop with exams. Exams are just one of the first place where we start to deal with expectations. Later it becomes college, job, salary, and lifestyle. Different exam, same pressure. That's a deeper issue here. You start living less according to what makes sense to you and more according to what is expected of you. And when people say exam pressure is too much on these days, I don't fully agree. Expectations have always been heavy. Exams just expose them. I'm not saying stop caring about marks or marks don't matter, especially in the month of January when everything feels intense. Marks do matter to some extent. Systems are built that way, but they are not meant to carry the weight of your identity. If you are feeling pressured right now, maybe you should just stop and pause for a moment and think and ask yourself this question. Am I stressed because the subject is difficult or because I am scared of disappointing someone? And that answer matters a lot because difficulty can be dealt with. Expectations, when unchecked, quietly drains you until nothing is left. I don't have a motivation ending for this. No big advice, just this thought that I wanted to share with you from my own experience. And in the end, all I would like to say is focus on the subject, focus on what you are doing instead of the results, because results are not in your control. And even if you think about those results constantly for days, nothing would change. That's all I wanted to say.